Hey, hey.
Whoa!
Evening.
All right.
What the
There you
hell
are.
happened there? So what was that at the beginning there, Ringo?
That was cool.
Well,
That's a MCM track, but yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it sounded a little bit like a voice of an angel.
Yeah, it was in there.
I haven't heard that in such a while. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool.
You know, it's funny. I just took it out of my CD player the other day to put Christmas music in, but I was listening to it.
Well, you waited a while for it anyway, right?
I sure did.
So,
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody to another edition of the Heikadelic Show. And
Yeah.
I guess this is technically our Christmas show.
Yeah, Jingle Bells.
Wow. Because our next show will be after Christmas. Wow.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, it'll be all over.
Holy crap, it's upon us.
Yes,
George, can you
Yeah.
play a tune for us?
Let's see.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Tra-la-la-la. All together now. Yep.
Two banana.
so Sandra made it on first so that we
Yep.
catch that. And then Matt's on.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt
Hi, Matt. Hi, Sandra.
from
Cheers.
House of Font.
To both of you. And the rest of you that are listening out there today.
Dun, dun, dun,
The
dun,
close
dun.
third shopping at the OC is Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Wow.
Saying cheers. Yeah.
Salute.
good show tonight.
So if I get a little bit crazy, boys, just let me know.
Well, you weren't that bad in Mexico, so like, how bad can you get tonight?
Holy shit, I was bad in Mexico.
And back.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
had a great pool day there one day.
yeah.
They had to get the wheelchair.
Uh-oh.
So, how's everyone's week?
Here, look, I'm ready for tonight.
Expecting company.
Yeah, you guys.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hello. I drink alone. Yeah, with nobody else.
Nobody else. 'Cause whenever I drink alone, I
I
want to
prefer
be
to have
by
a Christmas
myself.
tree right behind my head.
Yeah. So, Derek, how'd the show go on Saturday? We had company here way too late, so I couldn't make it.
Oh my god! No, it went pretty good.
Yeah?
yeah. No, it wasn't as packed as last time, but it was good. It was
Yeah?
it was a good time.
Yeah, we're sorry we missed it. We were both
Yeah.
going to come down and check it out, but
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
even offered our guests to come with us. I said, "Why don't we just all go together?" Well, you know.
The voice of an angel is screaming hard in Burlington on Saturday night. So,
Oh.
Yeah?
yeah.
Nice. Did that go well?
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. So closed the bar, but you know what? Yeah, I just the margaritas were great and going down good. And
Oh no.
oh yeah, by the time I think I sang my first song, I felt like I was struggling a bit, but it worked out. And then I went out and I smoked a joint, and these are like some light Kush things, and it just perked me right up for some reason, which usually has an alternate effect, but it was
Yeah.
a good night. Yep. Keisha, how's it going?
Hi, Keisha.
Hey.
Merry
Cheers, girl.
Christmas.
Woohoo. Oh. Mm-hmm.
So, Aiko, you mentioned you played
George.
Christmas music.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was.
what was it?
Oh, all right. I just got a bunch of mixed CDs I made a few years ago,
Mhm.
and they're still great, man. I just loaded up. Like one's
Hey, kid.
country, one's classics, one's all the oldies, but it's all
Oh,
Christmas
okay.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
When you say CD, you don't have to say a few years ago. Everybody knows.
Oh yeah, I just made them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with CDs.
No.
No,
They killed the tape.
Yeah, I remember like people were saying to me when I was still using vinyl in like the early 90s, and
Yeah.
the question I got asked a few times was, "When are you going to switch to CD?" CDs are useless, no good. You got to stick to the old
Yeah.
vinyl. You got it right. So years later, 2009, somewhere around there, somebody asked me, when are you going to switch to a laptop? I went, no, you can't beat CDs, you know, they're the best. So there you go.
Yeah, now you go somewhere, you got this little piece of plastic in your pocket and it's got 3,000 songs on it,
It's
right?
ridiculous.
Now, do you have any CDs from the 90s? Or have they started to wear out yet?
Nope, they're still good.
Oh, wait, hang on a second. Somebody's coming.
I didn't
Hey,
scratch.
folks, it's time for George's backside, my favorite part of the show. So sit back and have a look at his backside. And you can catch George out in the clubs, DJing, that's right, flipping those discs, and whatever else he does. But hey, right now, I just want you to focus on his backside and come up with some answers.
Yeah. You know where my backside is?
It's on your backside.
It's right behind me here.
Oh,
There you go.
Wow.
Dead easy one this week.
Oh my God, George, we almost saw the front.
Greatest Hits Volume 2.
The front was kind of like an orangey color.
Some of it is, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta lift her up there, George.
The greatest hits. And he left the S for us. Blah, blah with an S. Greatest hits, volume 2.
Yeah.
Now,
Blanks. Greatest Hits, Volume 2.
Yeah. You got it. All right.
Have we got any questions from our audience?
That could be just about anything. So let's go.
Just going by the outfit, purely 100% by the outfit.
Right.
Oh my God, I want to say Bowie.
David Bowie.
David
Bowie. Hang on,
It looks a little too thick to be Bowie.
It's a good guess.
Sandra said Stevie Wonder.
Pardon?
Sandra said
Sandra
Stevie
says
Wonder.
Stevie Wonder. Let's see. Let's have a look. I've got all my buzzers mixed up here.
I've got one of
All my knobs there.
Oh, that's not mine.
It's just a minute. Here we go.
Oh, you know what?
I didn't even get to buzz.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to buzz.
Sandra.
David Bowie.
Sandra for
All
the
right,
win.
Sandra.
Come on, George, just go.
Sandra rocks.
Just to make
Sandra's
it all
the
worth
first
it
one
for me.
tonight and winner.
There you go.
Dinner.
Here's a drink to you.
Excellent.
Cheers.
Oh, nice
Well done,
job.
Sandra.
Job.
Yeah.
Cheers, Sandra.
So on my beer
Welcome
can
back.
here,
Woohoo.
on the back side of my beer can,
Oh,
did you guys happen to watch any of that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, soccer.
Did anybody
So,
watch the final game?
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Dortmund.
George,
That's Borussia
who-
Dortmund, right?
Who were you picking for the final game?
Well, at the very beginning, I don't.
At the very beginning. Wait a second. How did you
Right.
change
Yeah.
halfway
Before
through?
a ball was kicked.
Before the ball was kicked.
Before
All right.
a ball was kicked at the beginning of the tournament in November.
Yeah.
I said Argentina are going to go all the way. Right.
Did you really? Wow.
I'll give you a couple of reasons why. Because it's a good team. I also followed them last year in the Copa America. You know, the South American Championship, where all the and they just took Brazil to the cleaners in the final.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just looking at them, and then the first game, as I recall, I think they lost 2-1 to, was it Saudi? Was it what? Right. And they said, well, look at Argentina. They've lost the first game. I said, well, yeah, they have, but there's 2 more games to go in the group.
Right.
In that game they'd lost, they had 3 goals disallowed in the first 23 minutes.
Wow.
Oh.
Because of technology, you know, the old offside rule and VAR. They had 3 goals.
Right.
The ball in the net 3 times before it was even 25 minutes into the game.
Well,
so
that's
I said,
pretty
they will
damn
come
good.
on strong. They are still my pick.
Really?
Yeah.
And see, for me, I have not liked Argentina for I don't know how many, 15 years, 20 years, something like that, because they were one of the teams that first started the diving, rolling like a dead fish on the green,
Oh, yeah.
right, to get penalties. They were the ones that invented that, I believe. And then the Italians came in strong second. They thought that was great.
Yeah.
So I never liked that. So
Right.
before the final game was even being played, I thought, oh, great, Argentina, what the hell? I was kind of like that. And then I go against, I didn't like who they were
I wouldn't
playing.
necessarily particularly like them, but I think they play good football. I mean, I go back to when we were at war with Argentina over the Falkland Islands in Britain in 1982. Yeah. But even prior to that, when I was first not when I first started following, but but around '68, I remember them playing Manchester United, and they were like at club level, and they were brutal. The Estudiantes, they were called. Yeah. And then in '66, because I'm old enough to remember the '66 World Cup. That was my first one.
Holy crap!
Yeah, that was my first one, and I remember they played. I can't remember who they played against, but they were brutal in that as well. They were just kicking players off the pitch. Yeah, like unbelievable. And then because that's where they were playing down in South America, right? And then in '78 World Cup, I saw them and they started playing football. And there's like some Mario Kempes. I thought he was a great player. There's a few more there. And I thought they're a good team and they got their act together. And they won it in '78, '86, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was unfortunate. It was like a lot of the teams that were expected to do well were out early. Yeah. And, I kind of was sort of losing interest in the whole thing. And then all of a sudden I watched, I don't know how far back it was, but I watched a game where Morocco was playing and they were doing penalty kicks. It was right at the end of the game. I don't remember who they were playing. Right. And their goalie was outstanding. The dives he took to save some of the balls. Yeah. And they wound up winning that. And I thought, holy crap, that's cool. So they moved ahead and I thought, oh my God, Morocco's the big underdog because they never get anywhere playing soccer. So I was kind of cheering for them. And then when they actually made it to the quarterfinals, I was like, this is absolutely amazing for them, right? Hey. I think a lot of people, they were their favorite, team in the competition. Yeah. But,
it's the first time an African team has ever made it that far in soccer.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right. So
Junior's on and
I can't really see him. It's kind of dark in this place.
It is a little dark.
You got candles on there, Junior, or what?
No.
It's got a soothing vibe going on.
Yeah, here, let me try something here. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we hear you great.
Old man.
Does that help a little bit?
There you go.
That helps a bit. It sure does.
Perfect.
That's all.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got the surfer thing going on.
That's what you
I just threw you on, Junior. I had a little intro plan, but these guys are talking soccer and that could go on forever. That's a whole show on its own.
Well, it's going to go on for at least another 5 minutes, okay?
Okay. It started off
the Heikadelic show.
So don't forget, we might have off on the shelf ELVISH on.
ELVISH, yeah.
So we got a lot to cover. But Junior,
so
hey, bud.
Hi.
Did you watch soccer, Junior? Did you watch any of the soccer?
Yes and no. I only have internet as opposed to cable, so I like soccer. Actually, in junior high, we won the championship in soccer when I was really young, so I like the sport.
Nice.
It's very popular and has grown, other than pickleball. Anyway, so much because it's inexpensive for parents and such. It's very, very popular. Yeah.
Yes.
But not to answer your question, no, I don't get a chance to watch it. No, I know what's going on. But, I always cheer for.
Yeah, we're just talking about the final game. I was just saying there's the two teams that were playing I'm not really fond of. But once the game started to come out, they started to play. I'm looking at the Argentina players and some of the moves these guys were doing.
Yes.
Like one player with the ball would deke out four guys and keep going and get a pass away, a shot away. And I'm like, do you see that? Do you see that? So I started rooting for them because they were playing incredible soccer, and they dominated the first half of the game. Like,
Some
I don't
of
even
them
know
are
if the
almost like Bruce Lee with their feet, for God's sakes. But that's
yeah, it was incredible.
No,
It was
really.
it was so much fun to watch. And then they got that stupid penalty kick, and that started to turn the game around. I said, "Oh, here we go." And it
I'll
was.
always get sports highlights on everything. I like just about all sports. So yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
popular. That's great. How are you guys?
Great.
Good. How are you doing?
Good to see familiar faces, I guess is the best way I can put it to answer that right now. It's only been nurses and doctors. So can't really have, I'm not sure, you guys at least have an idea of what you have to deal with this scenario, but you should not socialize, let's just say that, as much as you would like to.
Yeah.
So
really? Is it? Yeah.
Well, you're full of radiation, Heiko.
You know, we do drugs, we drink, we do crazy shit too, right? So like, whatever, a little bit of radiation here and there.
Yeah. you don't mind if I want to fucking live, do you?
No, you don't mind. We don't mind. You can spread the radiation around. You can share it. It's all good.
You could actually spread it that way. Hey, who knows?
Well, you can't be too bad there, Junior. You're not glowing in the dark, put it that way. So the radiation is not bad.
The glasses are reflecting.
I guess that's the enlightened part of it, you guys. It's different for all of whatever type or what they're going through. In a lot of different ways. So this is my choice.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. Give her hell, right?
And that's what we were saying too. We'll leave it up to you what you want to talk about and how you want to go about it, because it's different for everybody. You know what I mean?
Hey, sure. But first thing that comes to mind, I love the intro, by the way. That's a new intro, is it not? Who's the band that played that? I'm not joking either. I really like that intro.
Really? Cheers to the band.
Actually, Junior, resend me your address. Message me your address. I'll send you the CD. It's
okay, sure. No, it's nice. It was refreshing. So just before, thank you very much for the invite and whatnot. I was playing some, not because of George, but some older English stuff today, and just about 10 minutes before. It was old side B of Supertramp, even in the quietest moments, when that lovely line, "We shall defend our honor," type of deal. So that and this, guys, since a few more people are on, if you could just give me a sec to kind of say what I'm about to say here. So I guess about 20 minutes prior, another song that came on my list was Jackson Browne, "The Load."
Oh,
okay.
And if you know the song well, you know at the end it's going, we stay a little bit longer. You know how the end of the song goes, I'm sure. So in what I'm dealing with in all these travels of music and rock and roll, and thank you for the title, that's kind of you, Ringo. I thought about the title of rock star. And I've always been humbled in what I've done, you guys. It's a lot of years. But it comes down to this. I've decided that, yes, I am the rock star of music. In my travels, when I put up pictures and you name it, it's all about the travels and the people and the music. And I'll tell you fucking what. When I hear a song like that, it makes me think of everybody, from the people of the venues, arenas included, the sound people, the chair people, the security people, and all of it that puts a fucking show together for a memory that is maybe at the time not as outstanding as you might think. But when we all sit and think about back in time, I'll tell you what, my brothers, some of those people are not here now. So now it is load. So in the travels, thank you so much that I can be on a show like this and other platforms. This is what gives me the energy to say this. Cancer, we'll say fuck you, but you know what? While I'm still here, I'm going to do what I do best. And I fake what I'm doing right now, because yesterday, not so good.
But
But today, A good day.
Today was a good day.
That's awesome. And that's
So
awesome.
it's always been about the fans, the music, and anybody else attached. And I will end it on, other than questions, the support.
Yes.
Well, Junior,
You guys have no fucking idea, other than social postings that I put up there, is
Yep.
incredible. To thank them, which also Miigwech, is not enough. And it's incredible, the people that are in your corner when you are dealing and having a battle, when you think that you are alone, and because you kind of do feel like you're alone in this trap of this. So
That's so awesome you
I
say that.
digress. That's kind of what I've been doing, other than I do have some other announcements I want to get to later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we can go from there, sure. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, Matt.
what's going on.
But that's cool that you said that about that song, because that was a song too. Many years ago, I used to roadie for a lot of different bands,
Well, then you get it.
and when I heard that song, I was like, "Oh my God!" It's a song that goes deeper into it. Like you said, it's not about the band and the fans of the show. There's so much more involved to make a concert happen, right?
Well, it is about
And
the band. No, I got to stop. It is about the band, because that.
Yeah, I know, but
Well,
you
anyway,
got the
go ahead.
roadies,
Sorry.
and you got the roadies and all the other people that are there to support the band to make it all happen, right?
toilets.
And the
Yeah.
fans,
Ah,
the
yes.
fans, and that's why that line, when you and Ringo, you're a bit of a writer, and I think maybe even Derek, whatever. But when these pros that we have been so essential in our time put a lyric together, don't you think it's there for a damn reason?
Yes.
It is. It is what they call a hook, and a hook in time that has been so effective. That's why I say, and by the way, I want to say to you guys, when I first came on your show, I said to you then, and I don't want to always say that I'm right. It's not about that. But the tribute bands right now are ruling the planet. Thank you very much, tribute bands.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are
Yes.
ruling.
Yeah. And if you look at bands like AC/DC, we need another AC/DC, right?
Oh, no, there's 11,000 of them. That's okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's great tributes out
Well,
there.
there is. There's 11. Who would have thought that, Ringo? Well, you're a singer. I used to sing, and I took in professional singing. Who would have thought you want to sing like that? And some of them are very, very, very good, and we know them personally.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But tribute bands, period.
Yes.
Yeah. Like the
it's
Skinner
great.
Acts, and there's so many great bands, AC/DC tributes and all of that. And Rockpile, coincidentally, which you're quite affiliated, and we've all we have all friends at the Rockpile, but
Sure.
they showcase so many tributes as well as original acts, right? But it's
Well, you don't want to burn it out. Don't get me wrong. We know how that works. They don't kind of want to burn it out. Steve Hogan, Tamara, they're very well aware of that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying because I talk. I'm not just on Ontario, guys. You guys know I talk east to west of what's going on as much as I can, anyway. So yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I've been out west a lot. I've been to Vancouver Island and a few places very recently, last month, in fact, and slated to go back in January. But
yes,
at the end of the day, like while I was out there, tons of tribute acts, right? They're all over the place. But some, like the Rockpile, and I don't mind, shamelessly plugging them every time. They really support. First and foremost is live music, right?
Yeah. Oh,
and
very
then,
much so.
Original bands, tribute bands, maybe cover bands. I'm not really sure where they stand with that, but at the end of the day, live music first and foremost. So
yeah, they're still one of the strong, die-hard people. That's why, again, for me, I could, in joining in with that family down there, and Steve Hogan now has become a very, very personal friend. Yes, they've done very well. I'll talk more about them in a little bit here, but the tribute thing, I just wanted to bring that up because I'm just blown away and how fucking incredible some of these guys and girls are. Holy shit.
Absolutely.
From a Journey band to just a list of them. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
well, I'll tell you something, Junior. you know, I think it's hard to delineate between a rock star playing an instrument and when you're out there supporting them. So, you know, I think they have a lot to be thankful for. I mean, you're on a selfless voyage to really promote music, live music, and tribute bands and original bands, and you do a great job at it. You know, Derek, actually being one of them. You
Yes.
know, if I get playing in a original band or something in the near future, well, MCM will come out of the woodwork, so to speak, almost literally, because Phil's out in the woods. But you know, we'll definitely get down there, right? Even if it's a one-off, we're going to play the rock pile. But you know, it's great to see that promotion. And then post-COVID, right? Some great things happening out there. I went to see Tears of the Deity. They got signed to a label, and they you know, got to see them a few weeks ago. It was really cool. Terry had lined up a few bands, and it was awesome. Saw a band called Super Chucker. I bought
the guys. Yes.
Merch. Excellent show. They were very, you know, it was like, geez, these guys are probably close to my age, but you know, I don't know if they're popping Viagra before they just had so much energy and stamina, right? It was,
well, it's incredible some of the ages that, and even speaking for myself and in my age group or whatever, and some that are even older that are having this energy. Geez, I mean, there's something about that anyway, guys. It is the biggest high ever on being on a stage.
Absolutely.
Yes. And yeah, I agree. That's performing, doing that, having your fans around you. I think that is where the energy comes from, because a couple months back ago, we saw Anvil, and like, they're a bunch of grandpas, right? But I'm telling you, those guys bounced around on that stage, kicking ass, doing solos. It was like it was back then. You know what I mean? They still got it.
They're crazy MFs, right? Because you know, I've been on tour with Anvil, and you know, as a band playing, you know, opening for them and stuff. And I've also done like a kind of tour manager thing for them. So, but those guys, they're consistent and solid, and just amazing, right? But they're party animals, right?
Yeah,
it's super cool. So
they had that energy, like tearing around amongst their fans with their instruments, and it was really good. So,
well, absolutely, and there he is. Hey, buddy, we can see you now. Awesome.
Oh,
nice.
So there's
oh my god, that's too funny.
Red, our clown buddy. So hey, buddy.
Hi, Red.
Yeah.
And
okay.
So Matt's on here, and Matt's from my my buddies that have we're all into military trucks and stuff like that. And
oh yeah, he's in that group, is he?
Yeah, I got to meet a bunch of them earlier in the summer, and they're awesome guys.
Was he the guy that flew the helicopter that picked your truck up?
No, that's a picture of the LS.
Hey, so that boat that Matt's on, if you had one of those boats, just to like imagine, say, hey, where would you take that boat?
What boat?
Okay.
What boat?
See, look at Matt's picture. He's got a great big boat.
I can't see that. What do you?
Oh, that's a cruise ship.
Yeah, it's like a.
Oh no, I think Matt's going on a cruise or something. That floats.
Yeah.
If you had one of those, where would you take it? Like myself, I would want to go somewhere that like had really sweet ass northern lights or shit like that. You know what I mean? I want to go.
You know what? I would load that shit up with supplies, food, booze, whatever. All the people I know that I care about, all my friends, we would leave port and we would never ever fucking come back. We would stay in the ocean.
You know what?
I couldn't do
that.
So
the guys I'm in this military truck group with, I mean, I think I don't know them all, but there's about 1,000 people on the Facebook site, and we all have the same truck apparently. But
wow,
that is, I mean, for me, That's my goal. My truck is gassed and ready out there, and I'm, I swear I'm gonna go out and visit these guys soon. But life is holding me back. I mean, it's like good to go, right? I can live in the back of it, but what's stopping me? Well, I gotta pay the bills, right, and do some stuff.
You know what? The rig, that rig you got there is so cool. I've seen it. I've been in it. I got to drive it on Ringo's property. It is awesome, and I can just imagine him heading up north with a bunch of same-minded people, and spending a weekend, a week, or whatever out in the middle of nowhere, and just having a great time.
Yeah. Well, we are going to do a winter camping thing, and
are you?
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, we're going to go out and do that. So I know Richard Dirkshire was talking about that last year about doing winter camping, and it's definitely a thing. So I see Matt's posting like crazy here.
Yeah, I've done winter camping, but not in that kind of luxury with a beautiful vehicle and shelter and all that. It's backpacking tents.
Well,
Bahamas. Are you going to Atlantis?
Yeah,
he's going to Bahamas, right?
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to Atlantis. He's taking if he's taking a ship. I know when I was, I've been there a couple times. Ships come up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said taking a ship, right?
Yeah, the big.
Not a ship.
The big thing, the ship. Yeah,
you're taking a boat. You're not sitting on a toilet. You're taking a boat, right?
Well,
that's a liner, right?
You might be sitting on the toilet while taking a boat.
Taking a ship. It's like, what do you say?
Okay, so guys, so this is my truck, right?
Nice.
Matt's is identical, except when you get to the spare tire in the back of the cab, his is a canvas type of roof and more of a truck box setup, so an everyday type of truck. But yeah, his is prettier than mine because he's put a lot of work into it. But again, mine's kind of fairly new, and I believe
you gotta
his
polish
box
that thing up, eh? Get her all shiny so she sticks out a little better.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just don't want to.
No, you don't want them. You don't want those shiny. They gotta be flat.
I know. No, if they're too shiny, you'll see them, right? And you don't want to become a target, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, love it, just love it. And you're right. I drove. It took mine up north. I did about 2,000 kilometers solo. Got back to Sudbury.
Very good.
Almost
very good.
My brakes didn't work, but so it was a lot of fun. I mean, you learn how to fix them.
See, and that's the kind of vehicle Johnny No Cash should have instead of a little van.
Yeah. So I promised Johnny I would hunt him down and actually, find him and hang out with him for a little bit. So I'm gassed up and ready to go. I could leave right now. The back of it used to be a command center. I've got it configured without making too many modifications. I got a sleeper in the back, and I've got all kinds of survival gear and food and everything stocked with water right now. What's that?
Do you have sex lights?
Exactly. I have.
Oh yeah. That's funny.
I've got.
He's got the little lights outside along the top too. He lights them up at night when he's frisky.
No. Like inside, I've got these really cool multicolor effects lights, right, in case I want to get stoned. But
does it take diesel fuel?
It's all diesel, yeah. So
is it a multi-fuel?
Environmentally friendly it is, but I haven't seen an electric version yet.
Is it a multi-fuel?
No, diesel only.
Okay.
No. So, but it's pretty awesome. But I digress.
Hey, Matthew, have you been drinking at all or something? Because
nope.
Yeah. Not until I went on, I'm pretty sure.
Your fingers are just flying there.
Well, you got to think we have a delay. If he's talking to us in real time, we're 7 seconds or 2 seconds or 4 seconds ahead of him, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's okay.
We're on to conversation number 2. we've gone from talking about boobs to beer back to chips to
Well, he's not trying to guess George's backside. He's kind of with the conversation.
Right.
No, it's Sandra or that was
Pretty.
Sandra who got it right away.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Sandra.
Hey, Matt, who you calling fatty? Huh? What's that?
Oh no, that's with a PH, man. That's good.
That's with a PH.
That's good. Yeah.
Meat
I got
joint.
some shit for you, man. Yeah.
Meat joint.
Got a fatty.
Fatty and beer.
Oh, that's what he's on.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
So,
feel sort of
Ringo-
left out,
Not
you
like
know.
fat bottom girls.
Yeah.
But that's
Ringo,
still
did
spelled with a
you-
PH.
Yeah, that's great. Ringo, did you ever get your Jaeger?
I haven't yet. No, I got to go.
Oh, I was going to have a drink with you.
I've been drinking this vodka and cool. Yeah, I'll get it.
Huh?
I'll get it in a minute.
Oh,
yeah,
Right.
we got lots
Okay,
of time.
guys, ready?
Hey,
Cheers.
hey, have you ever had this one? Jaeger cold brew.
Oh, cool. No,
Oh,
no,
hey,
I've
just
seen
pour it
already.
on ice and it'll be
No,
cold.
I-
That's for
It's
coffee.
coffee.
Hey, George.
Got
Hey,
coffee.
George.
Yeah, man, cheers. Get a
Hey,
George or hike.
Cheers.
Where's
Cheers.
that button at? Hit that button.
Sorry, hang on.
Press
I'm
the
trying
button, George.
Oh, wake
All,
up.
all you
wake up,
fans,
mate.
get your drink, fans.
Yeah. And if you're out there right now, so I'm gonna pace myself because Matt's never seen me drunk or stoned.
Uh-oh.
He's seen me drunk and stoned, but not drunk or stoned.
Yeah.
But
One or the
Is there a
other.
preference, Ringo?
you know what?
Stone.
We had this event and it was cool because I got coordinated a live band for it, and they were a cover band, did really well. But it was cool. But I have to, and I don't really promote this, but Derek can appreciate it, I'm sure. Yeah, I kind of smoked these spliffs all day long, and I felt so good, so relaxed. I slept like a baby.
Right.
Got up the next morning. I didn't really have any eggs, so Matt made me. I think it was like egg and bacon sandwiches in the morning. So those, I'm telling you, it's like going fishing with your dad. When you're young, those memories last forever. How cool is that? You're
Be so.
stoned, you're feeling
Yep.
great. You got your big army beast there, and you sleep. It's like a deprivation chamber. It's so dark and quiet. And then in the next morning, your buddy next door is making you bacon and egg sandwiches. Like, how fucking cool is that?
That's pretty
That's
cool.
pretty awesome.
I'm gonna get emotional in a minute.
Hey,
But,
I just cruise across Georgian Bay to Matt's cottage. We do kind of the same thing, eh, Matt?
There
Nice.
you go. So
Georgia Bay
Those-
has
some of
cruisers
those
like
posts-
that, man. Well, maybe not quite as big as the one he's got there, but
Well, I
They
have to
got-
go around the corner where I am, Derek, to your cottage. But we can do breakfast there.
yeah, it's about. If I went across the water, it'd be about 6 kilometers, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Right on.
But it would
Exactly.
take about like 25 minutes, half an hour to get
Well-
to drive there.
I'll have to come up. I make a wicked breakfast.
Oh, Ringo's right though. There's something about it, and it's something about somebody else making it too. I think is better, eh, Ringo?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
I don't
you
know. I
what?
think so.
I'll
No,
make it.
it's
You clean
super-
it up.
So the truck right next to me, which is the same as mine, so you could kind of get lost between them. But so this guy's name is Genti, super awesome guy, Albanian. Not that matters. He's just got a lot of cool culture and survival, skills. So, but yeah, I get up, I walk out, and he's like, "Hey, Ringo, you want a coffee?" And just had, and I just met these guys. Like, honestly, I think,
I don't know, guys. Are you listening to what I'm hearing here? They got this special army-like truck. He has met some guys recently, and it's about a survival. I'm starting to wonder, Ringo.
No, we're just
Bugging out.
enthusiasts. We just have
Is something going on?
Wow.
Save us, please.
Wait, nothing going on here.
Put it this way, Junior. They're going to be able to survive anything, but they will not be able to repopulate the earth.
No, I'm all juice, no seed. Wait, public service announcement. What's that, squirrel?
Hey there. I saw the most disgusting thing on the internet the other day. It was one of those reels, and they were taking wieners and looking at them under the microscope. Raw wieners. Oh my goodness. I didn't know there were that many creepy crawlies on a raw wiener. So make sure your wiener's cooked really well or boiled. Don't eat it raw. This is sort of a Heikadelic announcement to keep you safe. Anyway, enjoy the show.
I love it.
Right.
Nice.
So,
Your
yeah,
fat wiener.
good times. Yeah, nothing going on here.
Hey, so has anybody like been on with those cruise ships? And like, if you have,
No.
Marijuana, what do you do about that? Do you just go on the beach
I don't
and
know.
smoke it
Yeah.
there and then like be
Well-
fucking bored the rest of your trip while you're out on sea for fucking hours at night?
I think that's something a buddy of mine, they were on a cruise ship and they had in their room, they actually had a little tiny balcony. So that's where you go and smoke your pot because
Yeah, but if you're like crossing borders and shit, like going to different ports and stuff, man, and you get busted with weed, some places don't like that.
No.
Right?
Well,
I think you've kind of answered it. That's what they would say to, though, wouldn't they, Derek? Is the fact that it's only legal where you are. You're not allowed to carry it across our border.
No, you're not. Yeah. Well, fun fact: I was going to go to Cuba on the 27th to.
Oh, you can't even talk weed over there; they'll kill you.
No, you can't. And it's like, well, wait a minute. That defeats the purpose of lying out on a beach and enjoying the sun. And
yeah, even being down in Mexico, I was there for 10 days. I never ever smelt it, not even once.
That's funny.
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
Wow.
Nope.
Wow.
So
their weed smells different.
No.
Colombian, Mexican.
No, it
No,
does.
sorry.
It does. It really does smell different.
It does. Like rope.
Yeah.
Derek, you're a connoisseur, right?
There was no burnt rope smell.
Did you?
Go ahead.
There's a new one out right now. It's this like really big sort of blunt, right? The baseball bat kind of thing, right?
Okay.
And it's somehow dipped in keef, I guess, and which is really the grindings. If you're using a grinder, it's that powdery stuff that accumulates.
Hippie crack, they call it.
Yeah, but it's quite potent, right? Because it's like concentrated.
Yes, it is.
And so what they do is they dip these now in it with different flavoring and something, I guess, to adhese onto it.
Really?
But yeah, and it looks kind of weird. It's a joint covered in. It almost looks like graham cracker kind of mix or something.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, I wonder if you can deep fry stuff on it. But they're apparently quite interesting, and so yeah, I haven't tried one yet, so I don't recommend anything I or Derek haven't tried.
I've definitely tried them. Some people call them moon rocks.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah. So what you do is
Matt's getting one for New Year's.
Yeah. For the flavor, you get like your oils, and you roll your bud in it, and you put the oil on the paper on the outside.
Okay.
And then you get your keef, and you roll it in the keef.
Yep.
And then you let her dry.
Let her rip.
Yeah. Well, no, you want it to dry. You want to make sure it's nice and dry so it sticks to it. And then light it, and you never flick it.
So let me ask you.
See, you always learn something, eh? That cool?
You just smoke it. You just smoke it, because if you flick it, it'll all drop together, and it sucks.
So that's what I was about to say, though. There's been so many different ways of that they've come up with now that they're even selling in the stores that you can try, even edibles to a great degree, to different ways to smoke it. Another way was what they're mixing shatter and weed as well, as you know, Derek.
Yeah.
And that's just
they infuse it.
They all just want to woof. So it depends on what you. There's just different. It's kind of cool in a way, I think. Different recipes.
Shatter reminds me of glass.
They've infused everything, weed with everything, alcohol.
So what's shatter?
Shatter is like super oil.
Yeah.
Well,
it's very potent. Very
right.
potent.
It's one of the most concentrated forms of taking the THC, like the terpene.
So is it still oil, or is it in a different form?
It's thick though. It's
thick to the point where if you took
it's
made like
cracks, like thin
like
toffee, like thin toffee,
like
like that.
Very thin glass toffee, right? So
okay,
that's the way I describe it.
So you have different stages, right? Like you go different thicknesses. This is the last stage. This is like the highest concentrate that you can get, and the cleanest of the oils.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. It's like super honey oil.
See, it's funny too, because I'm kind of new to all that stuff, and I just started growing plants maybe 6-7 years ago, and I used to clean my plants and get them ready and clean the buds all up and all that stuff, and I used to get all this crap over my fingers, right? And it was
the crap you want.
And it was a bitch to get off, right? I'm like, I can't clean. I'm soap, everything I tried. It was just a bugger. And I talked to a buddy. He goes, "What are you doing? What do you mean? That's the good shit. Like, what are you talking about?" He goes, "Just keep rubbing your fingers together, and it'll
finger
roll
hash.
up." And and he called it finger hash. I go, "What are you talking about?"
Man.
And so I did it, and I go, "Holy shit, it works!"
BT.
And oh my god, I tried that. Holy
fuck, eh?
Oh my god, it's good.
So actually,
I used to have 3 pairs of scissors to trim plants, right? Because you just trim. One gets stuck, you just drop them, get another pair, and then when they're all done, you just clean them all in rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
So I can see that we have other listeners on here that really haven't. So what you have to do to kind of be present on the show is, send us a message, which would be super awesome, or react somehow, and then we can see you're there. But I'm seeing like my band. I told them we were on tonight, and I said, "Hey, I'll talk about our band a little bit." It's a cover band, and it's called the Jam Pilots. And we're not a Stone Temple Pilot cover band. I think we do 2 Stone STP songs, but it's we're looking to get out. I'd say at this point by February would be reasonable, but it's so hard to get adult musicians that have other jobs and life going on to get out, and then of course if you get you get sick and the family's sick, nobody wants to do anything. So
right.
But it's sounding pretty good. We've been noodling around with a lot of songs that are maybe out of our comfort zone a little bit. It's called Jam Pilots. Matt is not military truck Matt, but Matt Hoare is working on it. Hey Matt, Fang by Night, are you still out there? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Yeah, he's going to help us out with a logo and stuff like that, and we're looking forward to getting out and playing. But I was hoping one of the guys would make their presence known, and I'd bring them on for a minute. But a lot of fun. Oh, and the bass player for MCM is in there, Lou. And then we've got Ian Meredith from. He's been in several bands in the Durham region, and so he's pretty well known for that. And then his son-in-law, Chris, who played in a band called RE-HAB is for Quitters, right? And they were they toured Europe. What's that?
I've played with them a couple
times. I like it.
I know Dan.
What's that? Good band?
I said I know Dan.
Oh, Dan. Okay. Well, this is Chris, the drummer, and he. I guess they did some shows in Europe and stuff like that. They were,
Wow, right on.
So he's the new drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sounded like he replaced someone or someone left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, being a drummer, I don't really pay too much attention to them. They just keep the beat going. So, hey, speak of the devil. There's Ian right there. Hey, Ringo. So that just proves my point. We have several people who just watch us and don't do anything. Like my, you're talking about cruise ships. One of my best friends, his lady goes on cruises probably 6 a year. They just got off. In fact, oh yeah, no,
So she get marijuana on them.
No, they don't smoke it, unfortunately. But I could probably ask her though. She knows enough about cruise ships that.
Yeah.
You talk to the guy in the basement.
Yeah.
Pool.
Talk to the guy in the steam room.
See, there you go. MCM needs to go play on a cruise ship, and Junior and Derek and George and we could be the roadies.
Yeah, there you go. You can play at 70 tons of steel. There you go. Ringo in the 70 tons of steel tour.
Yeah, you could do one of those rock and roll cruises.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no kidding. I love the retread cruises with like bands like Panther, Sweet. No, what is it?
Don't
anyway,
know, bud.
A lot of the retread bands, like metal bands and everything, they'll do these Shipwrecked. That's what it's called. I think and that one sells out early, right? People are buying their tickets almost 2 years in advance. So
yeah.
Oh, wow. Is retread a good thing?
Well, I call every band that used to be on top.
See Junior doing this.
Out of the line and then back a retread, right?
Oof.
No.
It's like a
These
tire.
guys are all doing it now, and they have been for the last few years, other than COVID, about a fucking paycheck because nobody's buying music. By the way, we are speaking of that, and I won't use that word, Ringo. But anyway, speaking of that, Canadian history is being made in British Columbia. They are having a festival out there. It's all Canadian bands, 4 days. First time ever in the history of music, by the way. First time ever. And all those people we will talk about are on that bill. Awesome.
And when is this happening?
Next year.
Yeah.
I think the Heikadelic show should be there.
That's up to the Heikadelic show. I know that I'll be there.
Good for you, buddy.
Hey, Junior, I know we talked off air a little bit. I don't know if you want to mention anything about something from east to west coast at all.
That's a good question. I appreciate that. What I've been doing is, of course, staying in contact in the good days and whatever. So in layman's terms, this is what is in the works, of course, which takes months in planning. I talked to, I will say hello to Sean and them over my left shoulder, great guys out of Halifax at a show called Barstools and Band Talk. I brought those up on your show before, Hike.
Yep.
Those guys.
For sure.
In layman's terms, it is this. Cross Canada simulcast cancer research is where the money is going to be going. We have decided it's going to go to the McDonald House because of the kids on a Friday night. We have a venue that we have selected that will all the money and proceeds at this. It's a 500-seat venue, by the way, which is really cool. All the money proceeded to that on the Friday night, and the simulcast will go to this particular show that we're doing. Saturday night, it might seem the obvious. Is of course the support and always, and I will talk about those guys in a minute if I'm allowed, that I've always gotten from, of course, Steve and the guys at the Rock Pile. Yes. I am working on, and I can't say who, but I am working on a very well-known singer, artist, that's helping a bit in regards to covering British Columbia. We have the advantage there, which because of it being a simulcast, the 4-hour difference in British Columbia compared to Ontario.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Point being is our headliner can go on at 11, and we still have a backup window of 4 hours that will give us in Ontario so that we can cover British Columbia. So it not that we're not involving Newfoundland or New Brunswick or any of the other provinces that way. I'm going to just leave that the way it sounds, maybe, and or Alberta and of course Manitoba. But in this point, it's going to be Halifax, Ontario, British Columbia, simulcast for cancer research, and the money is going to the McDonald House in Toronto. This is what's being worked on for 2023, hosted by a gentleman by the name of Junior Leclerc and or Leclerc. You may have heard of
depending on who you're talking to.
Depending on what side of the Quebec you're on. Yeah.
Right on, Junior. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's a great cause, and it, so just to clarify, like, Junior, do you think these guys from the bands that have kind of resurged, and they might have been always doing gigs, like not on, from the big stage back into clubs, like Anvil's a great example of that, right? I mean, they toured stadiums and all over the world, and now you can find them down at the Edge.
But you know what, though, Ringo, I'll answer that quickly about Steve. It's always been the inside joke. He'll play inside of a fucking closet if you pay him.
Exactly. Yeah, we all will.
Well, but you know what's true about that is I think it's real, and I'll defend Steve and Rob and the whole band or any of these others that are out there. It's always been about the music.
Yes.
When I talk to superstars, here's one example, okay? Mitch Perry, who plays with Cher. That level of fucking music is up there like you haven't been on a fucking stage like that, so to speak, right? But when you talk to him, so I ask him this question, the most memorable moment for you in your career. It's not there, believe it or not. Oh, I had to go to my son's school's play, and I had to watch my son do this type of deal. So when it's always been about recent, you watched this. I remember last time we talked, Linda Rodstadt, here again about the music. The famous interview asked about how she is losing what's happening to her. She said this, and this is where it is also fucking true. When I stop singing in my head, I know it's over.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty profound.
Yeah.
It is your soul.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. You don't think Junior Leclerc, I do this for the money, do you?
No.
You don't think I do it to get my picture on fucking walls and to be famous that way or meet famous people? I've met so many. It's not about that. These are the people that will tell you it's about the music. And the people attached to, as I said earlier, the stories, because of anybody that wants to be an egotistical ass, as I've said on your show before, they can continue to be an egotistical ass. Good for them. But I'll tell you what, the true rock star is not talking about what the fuck he's done. He's talking about what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got it.
It's not about money. I know a guy, I said this on your show, I'll say this, I'll end it on this.
Yeah.
He sold his business at the age of 42 for $110 million. I bring up his name because he knew that he could choose either is it about money or my family. Well, it was about family. 3 months later, he contacts me and asks me this, and let's play with your guys' minds here for some trivia. Junior, I happen to buy this house down in King City. You don't know who Alex Zavanovich is, do you? We bought Alex Lifeson's house.
Yeah.
So when I talk to him, he says this, and you want to know why people are not successful? It's this. They don't realize, and I'm one of them, the responsibility of money.
Yeah.
People don't. I would not want to be a multimillionaire. I would not be responsible enough. This is why people are not loaded. Are you kidding me? Those that are fortunate, you know what? Man, do they have to carry a heavy load? Because if you got a fucking $1 million mansion, guess who's got to pay for it?
Yeah.
The responsibility of the money.
Not to mention your crew. You got everybody who puts your stage together. You got your roadies. You got your sound guy. You got how about the buses that you're renting or the truck you're renting, the places you stay, whatever, you know what I mean? It's
I'm just saying that these are the stories that those that are, I guess, if you want to put in that fame category, that I posted recently doing a show with George Canyon and Charlie Major, very well-known Canadian country stars. So I asked Charlie Major if he had to pick a most memorable moment in his travels and career, and it wasn't about being #1 on the charts, guys. It was about a gentleman that recently his song saved his life.
Yeah.
Things like this. You know? This is again why I do what I do, because you know what? Through these travels and why I'll share even what I have and wear my heart on my sleeve. The personal messages of those who have been so thankful that just call me a warrior helps them.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I'll see you all at a fucking show out there. Of course I will.
You just nailed it, buddy. I had a listener. We were chatting about the show, and you've been on our show quite a few times, and they love having you on. And that's what they said about you. They said, Junior wears his heart on his sleeve. And you just saying that, it was like, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
That's
well, it
so
is
cool.
that. Why do you, my by the way, copywritten, why do you think my quote is more mild with a smile?
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
Come on. You know, I learned sort of like the Elvis speech at a very, very early age, unfortunately, of losing my father. The worst thing that can happen to you in life could be something like that. Everything else is kind of almost a breeze. I choose, that's me, okay, not to carry burdens in life. The motivational guys say this, and it's very, very true, you guys, okay? Why do I smile like I do? Well, you wake up in the morning and you can have it just like Neil Peart, okay? It's something governed by a thought or an emotion. Very, very true if you're a human, all right? And that's this.
Yes.
So when you get up and you look and you can say this if you choose. Oh, it's fucking snowing. It's a negative. Guess how you started your day? A negative. You're not in control of that. You're not in control of that. You understand? So the motivational speakers will say, if you go with the negatives, they call it a tree. So if you keep continually putting trees in your way, you're never going to find your path.
Yeah. Yep.
So yes, do we have troubles that come up in our lives? Well, you know what? I have one that's in front of me right now that could fucking kill me, but I choose to fucking live for today.
Yep.
Yep.
You know?
Thank God. Yep.
Well, thank God. Well, it's because there's many warriors that didn't make it this far, you guys. I'm only a voice. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Look at my example would be Phil Narrow, you know, and a superstar.
Yeah.
You know, he's rock with all these guys, blah, blah, blah. When you sat down with Phil Narrow, guess what he's sharing with you guys? Same things and words I'm sharing with. These aren't Junior's fucking words. Are you kidding me? These are from these people.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'm not no, what do you call it, preacher or whatever, but you know what? I'm the rock star of music because of my travels.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you see these postings on there, you guys, of my comments or whatever, and some that might even say, oh, it's fucking Facebook. You know what? You have no fucking idea the people that I've met on fucking Facebook.
I bet. Holy shit.
Well, that's one forum. One is over my left fucking shoulder. I've shared on your show, and I keep saying this because these stories are very real. And why do I have all this fucking swag? Because of them, not me.
Yes.
Okay. That was Don George. Now, do you even remember? Maybe Derek would. No offense, who the name Don George is or was?
He was a drum teacher.
Drum professor. Who for Neil Peart? For Neil Peart. No Don George. No Neil Peart.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Now,
Right.
say that in this. So this guy here he is. No Don George, no Neil Peart. If I say no Neil fucking Peart, do they all get it? Do you get it?
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
Historically, musically,
Where's
words
Progressive
travel,
Rock go, right?
type deal. Okay, so let's get to the point here in regards to what I'm saying. Now, you've seen some of the swag and whatever, and most of it's to Ringo, to Junior, to Derek, to George, to what this says? See it? It says for Junior.
Yeah.
Now that's the one-on-one personal travel thing type deal.
It is.
I digress,
that's
guys.
wonderful.
I stress it enough. And tonight it's Christmas, and because I'm going for this, I'm a bit mouthy and I'm a little bit healthy tonight. But I have to stress these points because if people are having such a tough time out there right now, and would you get off the fucking conspiracy shit, please?
Yeah.
August 20th or 31st has come and gone. Nothing's happened. There's no fucking lizard people. There's no flat earth. There's no nothing. Would you come back to the 70s and realize it's about you and me? We're brothers and sisters. Well, come on. I mean, holy shit.
Hey, I'm sorry, man.
Stupid.
What happened in 69? Because something happened in 69 and 70, and that's where it all started going downhill. Because the whole 60s, everybody was doing pretty good, man. Like pot was almost legal back then everywhere, and like you guys were doing good back. Like, well, but the people in the 60s were doing good back then. And but then all of a sudden it went all to hell, and everything went so corporate and big box and shut the world down.
It's not an easy thing to do, kind of in a way, guys. But I'll tell you what, I've seen a few postings in regards to those that are putting their effort out there. So why not? Yeah, sorry.
Can I break in just for 1 second, George?
Sure.
I have a cap on this, and I need to open it.
Okay.
I think it's that time that we had a drink.
Okay.
Wow, what do you got there, buddy?
It is Christmas.
Oh well, I am drinking. This is called cranberry ginger ale.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice. You know what?
All right.
I have to refill. I'll be right back.
All right.
Good
Earlier,
timing,
I showed you I had cranberry ginger ale with whiskey in it.
Yeah, it's pretty good, eh?
Right.
Oh, it's
You want to be
nice.
good with that? Is like a Malibu or something with a coconut. Mm.
Oh no!
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Piss off,
No,
coconut.
no,
Fuck,
no.
what's wrong with you?
Oh.
Anyway,
You got to say it like that.
Anyway.
apart
Piss
from
off.
talking about drugs and alcohol tonight,
Hey,
Derek, you touched on the 60s there.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I was well, I wouldn't say young in it, but it was like slightly young, right? So I would, at the time,
How much
I
of the
would stop.
60s do you remember? Were you like, what year were you born?
52,
Okay, so
1952.
52.
Holy
So
shit!
60s,
Really?
That was your teenage years.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That was a very informative time in your life. Okay.
It was,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the influences around me. I mean, like in '68, what was I?
All of them.
16, right? I was 16 in '68.
Incredible. Yeah.
Going into '69. I mean, rock music ruled the world. Vinyl ruled the world.
Yep.
And I remember going to see Easy Rider. I don't know if you guys know what Easy Rider is.
I've seen it.
Very much so. Yes.
Yeah, it was
Peter Fonda.
That's right. And I remember me and three, four of us went to see it. I had no idea what it was about. It was just one of the buddies, and I thought it's kind of changed my way of thinking. You know what I mean? It was like crazy.
Oh my god!
It was like,
I'm sorry, George. Junior just leaned forward like this. He did this, and his head looked like it was bacon.
What? Oh.
Just the The red.
Oh,
look at
because of
his
the
hat.
color. The
And look
color.
at bacon. I go, what the fuck was that? Sorry, George, you totally distracted me.
That's okay.
Now I'm gonna have to rewind that.
And
Oh my
Merry
God.
Christmas.
Go ahead, George.
Also
I'm
around
sorry.
69, well, 69 was Woodstock, right? And again, the whole concept of that blew me away as a 16, 17-year-old that year, the following year. And to me, when I look back on it, like the hippies, let's say the hippies, the love children, children and all that.
They were so good, weren't they?
Well, they were the first like environmentalists. They were the like you know, everything. Like feed yourself, grow your own food, you know, and all that. And you know, everyone's, you know, we all love each other. It was great, you know, and I thought that's the way of the future. So again, like you said there, I don't know what happened. We got into 1970, and all that was blown away by, I guess, men in suits. You know, the powers that be. They gave us things that would distract us from the journey these people were on.
Yeah,
you know, they gave us color TVs, and you know, we TV conditioned. You know, your house will be TV conditioned, and I think that's where it started.
Do you wonder where I think
we were ruled by a two-dimensional propaganda box in every room in the house?
I thought
that's my theory.
I figured we lost control when we started buying bottled water. I still remember when that came in.
Oh my God.
There's no way I'm ever going to buy bottled water. Who the hell would pay for water? You get it out of a fucking tap for free.
Well, the first bottled water I remember, again, it's called Perrier water, and it was very cool to drink it, right?
Yeah, sparkling
It was
water.
very cool, but when he stopped it, you know, a nice green-shaped bottle.
Sparkling water, bah.
Yeah. It was crazy, but then you got the plastic bottles, and we thought, like, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, and now
best carry those in a glass bottle.
I will say though, I do prefer my sociable beverages that do not have alcohol in them anymore. I like them in glass bottles better. There is a difference.
Well, and yeah,
I would think.
I get it, Derek. I got you there, because anything I drink that's in a bottle, it's not water.
No.
No.
Yeah.
A can of beer versus a bottle of beer, right? Like,
it just has there's a different taste in it. I remember that when I drank, right? You could always taste the difference. My beer of choice when I quit drinking was Lowenbrow.
Oh yeah.
I would drink the cans of it, and it only came in fucking tall boys, right?
The light blue baby cans.
Yeah, man. Yeah, fuck. I drank 6 of those in the drive home from Toronto.
See, I buy cans, but I always drink out of a glass.
Yeah, even still, it just tastes different. But I preferred the cans and Lowenbrow over the bottles.
Well, I used to definitely prefer draft beer back in the day, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm like you, George. I like draft beer. I love drinking out of a glass.
Yeah.
But the problem is, when I drink out of a glass, I drink a lot faster than I do if I have a can or a bottle. Oh, I have a glass. It's just woohoo! It's just like
it's what glasses are made to do, right?
Yeah. Well, when I was still in England, I used to play. There's a club I played for like 4 years. In fact, I played there till I left, called Aussies, and it was a real rough house, right? It was like really.
Oh yeah. You were telling us about this before, yeah.
And I couldn't believe it. Because like it was a gradual kind of thing where it was cool to drink beers from the continent rather than, you know, domestic beers. And one of the beers that they used to stock there was called Grolsch, and it was was in a big thick glass bottle. So I'm watching these bruisers that come in, you know,
I'll be
3
right back.
nights a week, and they're all walking around with like glass bottles, you know, that weigh like really thick. And I thought, I was just asking for trouble in here. You know?
Grolsch.
I could tell you some stories about that place, but
yeah. Grolsch had the green bottles, and they had that special cap on, the resealable cap with the wire. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. These, you know, it was bad enough glass getting thrown across the room, but like those bottles were like unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, happy days.
Woohoo! We always talk about drinking, don't we?
And drugs.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you
What
know,
the hell?
Yeah, but it's the Canadian way, though, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
Well,
And you know what? I really don't want to say anything bad, all right? But I spent 10 days in Mexico, and we met people from all over the world.
yes.
And I'm just going to say this. Americans stand out.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What
I have no idea what you mean.
You don't know what I mean. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm from the UK. I'm from the UK.
I think I kind of do, yes.
Yeah, the Americans. Yeah.
Americans,
Okay.
will
Americans stand out.
Okay,
And
American rock.
well, and you know how magnets work? You have the American right here,
Yes.
and it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, reverse.
you know what? I've met a lot of Americans. I love you guys, but
Yeah.
when you're at a resort, when you're somewhere else, and you're mingling with other people,
Yep.
just try to fit in, okay?
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Well said.
Just try to fit in. I'm trying to be nice.
Respectfully well said, Heiko. So, can I give a couple of shout outs before it gets too late and I forget, guys?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. So this year, of course, we got a couple of things. I was able to do a couple of shows. Very thankful. So I want to thank a great bunch of guys. You guys meet them sometime. I did I was the MC host at the Georgian Bay Music Festival again this year. Mm-hmm. We
Right
had this
on.
up our way.
Wow.
We had
Nice.
the Paul Sadlin stage, and not to be confused with my other guys. But they have
Paul
open
Sadler,
for
Chival's Cadillac.
the band themselves. Great, my close friends. They opened for Lee Aaron, Barstool Confession. So they were in charge of it. Actually, Jake Disman, the sound man at the Rockpile, he was doing sound for us this year. So I was very pleased to be the host of an MC of that show.
Wow.
And then finally, after a second time plan because of COVID and maybe ironically speaking or not, did the Neil Peart cancer cancer research show at the Rockpile. So I want to thank a couple of people that were in charge of that. In particular, Mike Dale. The band is 2112. So,
nice.
The thing about the show, and of course, being a guy that's done promotions, Ringo and Derek, hard to sell a Sunday no matter what happens anyway. But the postings you've seen, was very fortunate that one of the gentlemen brought Alex Lifeson's guitar to be part of the show as one example. We also had Martin Popoff show up. He's done all the books and everything on Rush, so he shared some great stories. So to the point, a few weeks later, received a very, very nice plaque, very professionally done by all the people that were in charge. I'll read this, and it just says, to Junior Leclerc, in appreciation for the contribution to the 2112 benefit show for the professor. The follow-up was just kind of in the same line. I'm just keeping it quick, guys, but just a thank you very much for my donation of time to the show. The point being is this particular show, and here's the letter, $3,000 was raised for this show.
That's awesome. Nice.
Very good.
So it was very proud to, of course, be part of that. And of course, for cancer research, it was ironic that it was planned, like I say, like everything else, I guess, pre-COVID. But anyway, so I was able to get 2 shows in. And of course, we're going forward with next year, other than, I think this is great you guys have me on. But there's some other shout outs. I want to thank, you'll like this, George. I was just talking to Spike. You know, if I say Spike, do you know who that is?
Spike.
I think.
Come on.
That's okay.
Just
It's been a while.
Just the way you said it.
The London Choir Boys.
Oh, okay.
London Choir Boys.
Choir Boys.
my
Okay.
God.
Everybody's suing everybody now in this music. That's another show in itself. Trust me. Trust me, they all are. So
Oh
anyway,
my
Spike
God.
is out on his own with his version of Spike's Choir Boys. There's a reason why I'm talking to him. Can't disclose that, but I wanted to give him a shout out just because I was chatting with him. Happy birthday to Dave Langeth, great guy. Kim Mitchell's drummer and also drums for Street Hearts. Let's see who else. Oh, Jules. We were on the my buddy Paulie D and the Hell Yeah Radio show last night. They were kind enough to give me a shout out and talk about Sean Stripe and Social Stripe as well. Sean McKenna, Barstool's Confession, Steve Hogue, of course, and Darby Mills.
Darby,
And of course, I will say this and end my little shit tonight that look forward to 2023. I'll let everybody know on the launch date. It's called Turn the Page, and that will be my new show. I have walked from, I'm going to say, that other project that I was on for a reason, so I'm going solo. Thank you.
Wow.
Busy.
Nice. Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And when are you starting that? That's in the new year?
Yes. Yeah.
London Choir Boys. Okay. I Don't Love You Anymore.
7 o'clock is their biggest hit.
Oh, 7 o'clock and you got your
Time
right.
for a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Okay, yeah, okay, I'll bring it up. London Choir Boys, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock and you got your rock. You think everything's
No,
alright?
no, wrong.
Wrong one? Oh.
Oh my God.
Here it is, okay.
You'll know it right off. Anyway.
Well, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Ringo muted me.
Yeah, because we'll get tagged by Facebook, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Well, you
You
should
kind of will, yes. Yeah, it's been
yeah.
going on, so
We'll-
you're not wrong. But anyway,
we'll
yeah,
not-
that's why I laughed about a lot of them are getting out, which is kind of fabulous in other ways because it's the only way they're making any money. So it's kind of nice for those that have not been playing in a long time and now are getting out and playing. I think it's fabulous.
Yeah.
We got enough of it in, Derek, that we know what the, got the gist.
Yeah.
We call it the gist of it.
You did.
That's actually perfect. Yes.
Junior, you brought up some things earlier about like the bands that have, over the years, they, a lot of people have tried to make a living doing what musicians love to do. And I was one of those. I was offered a contract to go with a band. I think the band was called Pyramid or something way back. But,
Right.
and I talked to my parents. I was in high school, and they said, do it.
Heiko, you're breathing into your
right?
mic.
You can always,
Yeah.
Am
Are
I?
you having sex with yourself there, Heiko? What's going on?
Sorry. Oh my God.
see, and here I am thinking it's just the storm outside, but it's like,
Hello. It's like
it's the storm in Heiko's pants.
sounds
While
like
he's
wind.
doing that, let's just pull him off here for a minute. But
But yes, go ahead, Ringo. Yes.
yeah, so I thought, it was one of those decisions that my parents were very supportive, right? And they're like, "Hey, go and do this for a year," because it was 8 months on the road or whatever it was, and they left the decision up to me entirely. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm gonna pass on that. I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna get a job. Blah blah blah. And a lot of my friends that were really talented musicians actually went out on the road. So the inflection point was when I actually had a stable job. I was making some pretty good cash and everything else. And then I've got my buddies now that have been on the road for 10 years, right? Trying to just beating the pavement, trying to make it, and super talented, right? And they're having to start over, right? Start where I was 10 years before. So I always thought, you know what, I can build myself a career and home and, support my family and everything. And then do rock and roll on the side, which I love doing. I'd done it for years, but it was never as fulfilling. So I always used to joke and say, well, my tour bus left a long time ago, right? But I did get the chance to tour. Mind you, it was, shorter. And I worked with my band. We got to the A circuit, but we ran into a lot of tribute bands that were just so solid. And I always loved it when they played the weekend or week before we played, because that would allow us to continue packing houses, right? So where I'm going with this is, back in that day, our band would make, for a week, we'd be pulling down, let's say, $7,500 for, 3 to 4 nights in a matinee, right? $7,500. So we had our own guy, lighting guy and everything else. So, and we all lived in the van, blah, blah, blah. So it was exciting. You could actually, just to do a local show, we'd be doing anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500, right? So could you make a living? Sure. I mean, life isn't going to be, like you're not making that hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you could certainly support yourself. But then
that kind of money is pretty good. That's more B level though, but it's still good money at that time.
Well, but B level in that time period, we're talking like in the 80s.
I understand it. That's why I'm saying
I was the only kid in school walking around with like $500 in my pocket all the time, because I was making it on the weekends easily, right? But my point is that there became.
I learned that from when I did April Wine.
Yep.
And I had that argument with Miles Goodwin, so we're talking in that same time frame of A and B circuits. The only reason why I'm correcting you is because he said, because only of being a friend of my uncle's in a foot in cold water would he give me the B level price.
A foot in cold water.
By the way, foot in cold water. Do you know Dave Applin at all? David Applin. David Applin.
It sort of just rings a bell, is all.
So he's kind of when the rare times that they actually do play or have played over the past, let's say, 10 years, he's been their guitarist. But Dave actually
that's why, though. Some of them have just passed away, died. My uncle himself, he hasn't been associated since fucking forever. He lives in Las Vegas. He doesn't even play music anymore.
Yeah.
But some of the guys have moved on, right? And or died.
Right. It's a tough pill to swallow, because, you're always a musician. But
that's why I was saying too, but back sort of, I think you were leading there. It was nice to hear that, and that's why I joke about not using the word retread, because some have stepped away and whatever, and they have come back, and such as what you were saying about this new project. Well, that's what's good. It's allowed us to come back and realize that we can back into our music is what's so essential. George, same idea with regards to the DJing. He's getting gigs. I mean, look at the age that he said he is, and yet he is still out doing this. Do you not think that he's heard of fucking and probably sick of old time rock and roll, the song by my hero Bob Seger, as one fucking example?
That's a long time ago.
One example. But if you don't play it, it's like the interview recently of Rod Stewart. If he doesn't play one of the biggest hits, such as let's see, a Maggie May. But the point being, back to this and the music. Nice to hear that you got a new project. Derek has something new that he's working on as well. So that's what's great about
I remember when I started doing the cruise boats in Toronto, and I remember the staff would say, "Please don't play Hot, Hot, Hot." You know what I mean, by Arrow, or that was like one of them. Because it's just so obvious. But the point was, and I would play it anyway because people wanted it, right? So
if you don't, you're going to get shot. Yes.
What was that? And they said to me, "I'm just sick of that song." And I said, "Well, to be honest, I'm not even hearing it. I'm just seeing what's in front of me." You know what I mean? You just kind of you look at the reaction. You're not listening to the music, and that to me,
even in radio, George, I was always 3 songs ahead.
Yeah. Oh, you have to be. Yeah. Now, see, I did a bit of radio, but I found nothing better. I found it very hard just sitting on your own in a room, imagining your audience, I found that very difficult. I was always like to be out there where people are crawling all over you. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
So
I said again,
I never really
and I
pursued.
might sound repetitive when I was on your show before. I think that's most of for myself why that level of success of being one of the main guys. It's not totally of who my personality is. It's a challenge, you guys. It just really is for the guys that it became the Alan Crosses, the recently I can say the name John. I'll just say John because of whatever. That's fabulous.
Oh yeah.
But all of that type of thing it wasn't about for me.
Yeah.
You know, I did it, like I said, 12, 13 years of it. But it's my point being is, sorry, I digress. You're right, George. It is very robotic, and I don't like this feeling type deal. So I have a fabulous imagination, or I wouldn't have a 31-year-old girlfriend. Come on. So it's not about imagination, right?
You don't need one, do you?
Nice.
No, but yeah, but going back to the radio, I mean, I remember being at Q107, like talking to people, and I did a few things back in '87, and even 99.9 when Gary Slate was there, and I got to a certain point where they go, "We want you to do this," you know, blah blah, you know, because they kind of bring you on a little bit, and then I just lose interest. I'd lose interest totally, you know. I just didn't find it very exciting. That's
one example of that is this, guys. I'll end it on the radio thing, where it became, and you're right, George, but here's what it ends up being. So they call it a hot clock in front of you. So what comes up is it shows you there 15 seconds talk. So you now have 15 seconds to talk when the end of the song comes.
Right. Yeah.
And then around the clock, song, 20 seconds, maybe 25 seconds talk. Yeah. So anything and everything that you need to say has to come out in that time frame because it puts everything behind.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Everything, commercials, you know, type deal.
Yep.
So the problem is now you have to be, and I'm very articulate, I'm very quick tongued, blah blah blah. But to be your personality truly, I personally have always had trouble on being timed on what to say.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And see, that's why we love having you on the Heikadelic show.
Yeah.
Now you're drunk, Heike.
Yeah. Hey, Junior,
and I hang on. No, I don't blame the radio stations, guys, either, because it is about paying for a commercial. That's just, but now that it's all changed, it just wasn't as enough to keep me as excited about what I'm about personally. Yeah. That's all I can say about it.
It's so different, isn't it? Right?
So, I'm sorry, Hype.
It's so different now, isn't it?
Well, it's just changed the availability. You don't have to listen to the person gab if you don't want to.
I know.
You know, even my new car, your guys' new car, you can choose. It doesn't have to be serious, but you can download all your music and put it in your car anyway.
Yeah.
So why do you have to listen to a commercial?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why do you have to listen to somebody gab? And I've said 100 times, and I don't mean this the way it may sound, but because they're not paying them, they don't care who's on the fucking radio anymore or what they sound like.
Exactly. Exactly.
You want to know something? I turned off a podcast the other day because the guy sounded like that. He was like, "So I was sounding why I sound like." Dude, stop trying to disguise your voice, and if you sound like that, like really mad, get into hand modeling or something.
Yeah, it's bad.
Well, and again, like I remember having the conversation with Al Joins. He's been on your show, and that's why in his tenure, well, they don't want to give you the paycheck that you've now deserved after all these years either. That's unfair.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so
you know, like the 94 has a rock randomizer, which I think is honestly a bunch of hokey bullshit because, you know, I swear, and I counted 11 times that they played the same song over in a rotation that I was up for probably 14 hours anyways.
Oh my God, really?
Almost once an hour. So when I talked to one of the, and I won't name the you know, one of the host DJs over there, you know, anyway, I was at a venue, and I said, you know what, like, what's up with that? Do you guys even pay attention to the show? And he said, no, that's not true. You'd never hear it 11
We're not in
times.
charge of it.
I said, I counted it, you know. But it's like, yeah, these guys, I don't know what they get paid anymore, but some of them have second jobs or third jobs or whatever, and it's just taking a shit, right? So, but they're doing what they love to do.
Four classic rock stations across North America closed this week, guys.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
So
No one listens
Three
to classic
Canada.
rock anymore.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, Junior. I always felt, and where I was kind of going with my little diatribe was really to bring it to how difficult it was when the bottom sort of dropped out of, you know, as a, let's say, a performing musician in clubs, all of that. You were making pretty good money to be able to support yourself, and all of a sudden, wow, you're playing for a lot less. Like, it literally dropped to a half, then a third. One of the things that I saw was, you know, younger bands coming in, they just wanted to play. They'd play for beers and play for free. But that was around the same time when the union dropped out of the picture. The union at the time was bullshit, but because it wasn't well organized, it wasn't well deployed, it didn't support musicians in the way it should. But there were elements of it that I believe to this very day could have been super strong in making it a business. And then, of course, you have COVID, all right, which exposed a lot of musicians that never ever claimed tax money, right? So they didn't get any benefit whatsoever. And then it took a whole, you know, it took a whole bunch of time to be able to respond, to even realize that these people exist, right? Because they're not reporting to CRA. And I'm not saying that, you know, that's a control thing, whatever, but it because it's never been recognized as a true profession, okay, unless you've made it to a level where you're rock star level or whatever, maybe that's the wrong word for it, but you've reached a level like Gino, right? Gino plays on ships and does a ton of stuff, but he's one of the most professional musicians that I know, and he works his ass off for it, and he's made a living. I know club bands like Two for the Show and stuff like that. They, you know, they do their thing, but they've supported a family over the years and have done it for many, many years. So there are unique ones that kind of, you know, make the best of it, but it is so effing hard to do, right? For me to walk from MCM was offered a really cool tour more than once, 3 times, in fact. You made a point about like the costs of travel, like for the first presentation was about an 8-month on the road show, which we all work for a living, so that was a non-starter, but they gave us all the details and everything, and it was like, wow, our cost for the bus and everything we'd be on was $346,000, okay, for that tour. And so, you know, it's like you're playing B circuits like the Rev and all of these, you know, you're not playing stadiums. So there's that element. And, you know, it's disheartening because I'll never fulfill, you know, the concept of, like, I truly at one point, that's what I wanted to do, was be a musician. And for years and years, I was told I didn't have a voice at all. Like, in fact, one of the
really?
Yeah, I used to play. Well, I play guitar, but I used to fronted bands, and I you know, played rhythm with this touring band, and we I'd step up to the mic, and the singer would, and the singer had like a Geddy Lee type voice, right? It was really high in that. I'd be told, like, you know what? No, that's not your thing, man. Just step away from the mic or turn his mic down, right? But the reality was, and I didn't know it at the time, was I could probably sing circles around him. But back then it was that high friggin', you know.
Well, that's the kind of thing people were into, right?
Exactly. They were into it. So for years and years, I thought, you know, I'm not a singer, so I'm not. But then I actually auditioned for a band that was going to go out on the road for a year. And I auditioned. The guy who got the job, it was down to the 2 of us, turned out to be one of the awesome, you know, best singers up north that I knew of. I had no idea auditioning, but it sort of validated, right? And it's like, wait a minute, But then I kicked myself in the ass thinking, had I known that, 5 or 6 years earlier, I'd have focused on that and maybe gotten that shot or that chance, right? But but even those guys that did, and I use that word retread. It's like, they've worked their ass off. They've been world class, and for whatever reason, and some of those continued, right? Like Darby is a sweetheart, and she is just. I remember seeing her, like, man, and she still kills it, right? But
she's a brand new CD out. She's had to reinvent her voice. I just interviewed her not long ago. Yeah, I just talked to Darby.
Yeah, but I mean, if
she's had to change her voice though. That's unique.
Yeah,
itself.
For sure. But if you
really?
Yeah. Well, she doesn't. She doesn't have that range, so you have to reinvent your voice, Heiko. Remember, she's known as the queen of scream, right?
The queen.
Absolutely.
So,
but there's so many moving parts in the business, like hip hop became popular. All of these things, is rock dead? Blah blah blah. And I hate hearing that, honestly, but because it's rock is here. It's not. So until all of us are dead, it lives, right? So
well, when I hear that, I just laugh because they go, "Really? That's your question? You can't even answer that."
I don't know. You just I was gonna say you just didn't answer your retread.
No, it's like
you were like telling you started at one spot and you ended at a different spot, and you never told us why you call them a retread.
Yeah,
no, I got that actually from a band that. No, I got that from a musician that was, said, hey, we're a retread band. We were out there, and they, for whatever reason, they abandoned, not broke up, but just kind of fizzled. And then they're back doing what they do. And there's a resurgence of that. So the retread is, you can tire treads. Sometimes you can get extra mileage out of them, right? So
you call the big band a retread. What do you call the bands that never made it? That are still doing
not
the same
even
thing?
Training Wheels, right? So bands that never
made it,
that are still doing the same thing as the retread bands that did.
You know what? One example though of kind of in the lines of what you're saying. It's just a word, but outside of that, but it has yet. He's rocked like a motherfucker over in Europe in his time, and has opened for many famous people and yabba dabba dabba do, and yet stepped back from the industry and only recently. And who's that?
Fred Flintstone.
And only recently got back into the industry. Is a very good acquaintance friend is Rick Santers.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, right on.
So there's an example. Like if you have ever seen Rick play live, he is one of those, and was in the day. I can never forget. I'm in Ajax, actually, a club downstairs, and it was one of those. What the fuck? And ever since the association through. I just had a buddy click, and I want to get again because he's been actually practicing for his gigs for New Year's. Sean McKenna just jumped in to say hi, guys, from Barstool and Band Talk, and his new show, Rim Shots. So a quick shout out to Sean.
All right, right on.
Yeah, I get the retread thing in regards to saying it, but all that. It's just, I guess because I'm in the communication business, sometimes certain words, and I hear the rock stars, and they kind of go, "What the fuck are you saying?" You kind of go, okay, man. You know who you will never use that word with because he will fucking kill you? Miles Goodwin.
Yeah, but I don't think Miles, like April Wine is not in that class. They've always been, relevant together. Well,
not really.
Yeah,
they broke up for quite a while.
Yeah, they did, but they.
And then they retreaded.
They did.
Now it's going to be our new favorite word.
Miles, you guys are retreads. There you go.
It's funny that you talk about all this stuff, because I remember many years ago in Oshawa, in the mall, the Oshawa Center. There was a bar in the basement. It was called Zolly's. Do you guys ever remember that place?
No.
Too many venues personally, but
yeah. It was called Zolly's, and it was underneath the Oshawa Center, down in the basement.
Okay.
And I went there one night with a couple of buddies just to go to the bar and have some drinks. And we saw Coney Hatch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like we didn't even know who this band was at the time, right? And they rocked the shit out of this place. It was like, oh my God, who are these people, right?
Well, that's why some of it, guys, in this, in what we're talking about, I did the same thing with Triumph the first time I seen them.
Oh my God!
You know?
Yeah.
And Zon, whatever happened to Zon? You know, in the time frame that we're talking. This is some of these bands are before you, George. Sorry.
Or Blood Rock Sausage, right there.
Yeah, no, I did. I actually had a title. I was going to.
Oh, Monkey Bars, Swinging Stars.
Yeah,
is that Coney Hatch?
Ringo has not been wrong in what he's been saying. The cat is out of the bag. So videos have finally come out. So that's what the video that was called when I did porno back in the day. And there's my limo ride from it.
Yeah, Junior, it's so funny. You holy shit. It's so funny, Junior, you brought up Triumph. Because I think that is one of my most favorite ultimate pieces of music is side B of Rock and Roll Machine.
Oh yes.
From Triumph. I when I play that, I want to play the whole side B, and you know what? Every stereo I played it on, it will not go loud enough.
That song itself, Rock and Roll Machine itself, the song will rock your motherfucking face off. If you don't have a soul, it'll bring one out of you.
It's
absolutely. If you can't hear that, man, wow.
It's the best. It really is. You know, there's a lot of great bands, but that album side is the ultimate. Yeah.
When I interviewed Miles Goodwin, Electric Jewels was my favorite LP that in my time that was so most unrecognized April Wine album in its time. Honestly, but if you listen to it, George, have a listen to the whole album. Electric Jewels, April Wine.
Okay.
I mean, with the production back then, how old they were, the whole 9 yards. It is the most unrecognized fucking famous album in Canadian, maybe even the world. Honest as shit. He gets what I was saying in the interview. You'd have to have seen the interview because for him it was what's the one with the cannon guys? April Wine with the cannon. Slowpoke, not Slowpoke. But anyway, with you wouldn't want to lose your love on it and all that. And what a night! No, that's not sweeping. But anyway, I'm losing my mind here. Stand Back. Sorry, Stand Back. Stand Back is the other album.
Yep.
My mind was way over to Thunder 7, and I'm like, what's that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, but no surprise, a lot of that funded by Mike's father. You know, all that lighting show. By the way, did you know this, Heiko? Triumph has never, ever opened for anybody.
That's awesome.
Anybody. Have they done festivals? Yes, but they've never opened for anybody in the history of Triumph. Isn't that amazing?
They were a band, I think they were way underrated. I personally, myself, I loved listening to their music. They had something special. You know, other people would go Rush, they go all these big bands, right? But I go, do you ever listen to Triumph? And they're like, who's that? And it's like, really?
Yes.
Yeah. And like I said, if anybody wants to hear something really, really good, listen to the album Rock and Roll Machine. If you don't want to listen to the whole thing, listen to side B. It is extreme. It's amazing. And how long ago was that album produced? Was that 30 years ago?
You'd be talking what, 1970, 6, 7, 8, around there.
Yeah.
And I'm using the words, or the numbers 19. I hate using that. And that's okay,
I
by the
know.
way, the remarks about the CDs and albums, guys.
Hey, Junior, the times we live in, I could have done this with doing this about 30, 40 years ago. I just got Crown
What's that?
Jewels, Electric Jewels by April Wine.
Oh,
I just downloaded it off Spotify so I can listen to it.
There you go.
right on, George.
It's the way we do it
Yeah,
these days. I could have done with that back in 1975.
No, well, that's why, again, we were talking one other time there. I kind of miss it about carrying all the albums and cassettes and everything around as a former DJ as well.
Yeah.
But now you can just, do one of those.
That's unbelievable. Yeah. And I like the fact you said that somebody was before my time or whatever. Like, I thought it's usually me saying that it's before your time. Oh, it's nice to say.
Well,
Yes,
funny you
it was.
say that phrase, and I love this as kind of the Christmas show, guys. Two things. That it is Christmas, and we need to acknowledge because we are talking about that. My gosh, including just recently, Christy McVie, we've lost a lot of our rock stars in the last year, I believe.
Dan McCafferty. Nazareth.
Yep.
Dan McCafferty.
Oh, yes, Dan, of course, yeah.
They were a great band. They were like a true rock and roll band, weren't they? They were just the archetype rock and roll band. That
hit songs written by a Canadian, though, George. You know that, right?
Which one?
They're hit songs written by a Canadian.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Nazareth. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe I heard of Carol who?
Carol who?
Pope, really? Oh,
yes.
I never checked the label.
Big,
Yeah, I get invited. Ed Souza has a. Do you know Ed at all, Junior?
I know the name. He has some sort of a special get together
events. They've got a bowling alley actually that they use as a venue as well, and they get some pretty good acts. I think they've.
That's who it is. Yes,
Honeymoon Suite, and some really good. But Ed had, I think it was 2 years ago, just an online New Year's party, and I was on it with. Carol Pope, Darby Mills, a whole bunch of, and it was awesome. You could interact, and if you wanted them to talk about specifically about whether it be their band or play a song from what they were working on, you'd do a donation to I think it was Ronald McDonald House actually, and so yeah, I think I paid a few $100 to hear Darby and just kind of feature one of her songs on the show, but it was really cool to interact with all these people. And so we should wrap it up, and then if we want to chat in the green room we can, but I think our listeners are slowly knocking off here.
Me and my energy level, the only thing that's kept my energy, and thank you guys, is having a good day, and B, to see some familiar faces.
Good to see you, Junior.
The nurses and all that, I love them all. And oh yeah, that's right. This is kind of cute. I thought he was coming on to me. I'm just kidding, but anyway. But you only get you almost get the same specialist doctor and same nurse, which is what you need. But anyway, so because the last visit, he goes, oh, let's take out your mask. Oh, actually, he says you're quite a handsome man, and I went, oh, thank you very much. So anyway. And because, like I say, for me, I've decided, which is so hard in who I am, but I want to get better first, and then I have more of who I am to get out there. But not to be social has been just awful hard. Oh Lord, you gave me a mountain type deal, which is very real. But I'm going to win this fucking fight. And thank you so much, you guys, for caring enough to always have me on your show.
Yeah.
And I know you're in my corner.
Yeah,
and the fans, and everybody, thank you so much.
Yeah, Junior, you're always welcome here.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Sure.
You're part of the team. You're a brother. It's all good. So no worries.
We're gonna have you guys on my show.
Yeah, for sure.
Holy crap! Really?
Yeah.
Wow. We're gonna step it up a notch here, aren't we?
Yes. Well, not only that, with George at his backside, maybe George and I will I'll challenge George $100, and we're gonna play rock trivia.
Ooh.
I want you to English questions.
Oh wow, this is gonna be good.
I never said I was an
Anyway.
expert on rock.
You have to be, buddy.
We'll go rock pop.
All right, we'll figure it out.
All right.
Okay.
But personally, let me do it this way before I forget. George, love you like your brother. Merry Christmas. All the best this year and more in the new year to you and your family and everybody.
Thank you.
Ringo, always funny. You're a great character. You're a funny character. Can't wait to meet you in person. And maybe I may get that Voice of an Angel music in my mailbox one day yet.
Yeah,
soon.
send me.
There you go.
Heiko, I
Yeah.
bet you partying in person with you is going to be so fucking funny that we will fall off our chairs, is what I would say about
Absolutely.
you, Heiko. You
Absolutely.
do a lovely show. Mr. Derek, him and I have become a little bit more closer than the rest of you because he lives local. Plus,
Yep.
you know, small world. I'll remind you that, but yet no small world.
Yeah.
Hello to your sister, that his sister and I worked together back in the day.
Nice.
Love you like your brother. So those that watch the Heikadelic show, do it and watch it for what it is. I personally, at first, like a lot, didn't get it, but I like that about the Heikadelic show. Keep doing it the same way. Love you guys.
Yes. Thanks, brother.
Junior.
That's awesome. So, guys, it's been a great night. It's our Christmas show. Well, got a tree in the background here.
Yeah.
that's
You
that's
your
about it,
balls.
right? Look at that, George.
Call me
It's
disco ball.
all right, Junior. Nicely done. Okay, we all have a part of it. We're good. I want to thank our fans that were part of the show tonight. Sandra, number 1, and Matthew, Kathy, Keisha, Junior, Red, Matt, Ian, and Sean. You guys are awesome. You're part of our show. You're our best fans. And I want to put this plug out here because this is going to be my last opportunity. It is for the Rock Pile. Tony at the Rock Pile.
That's
December 23rd, he's having a thing at the
This
Rock Pile
Saturday.
called, this Saturday, a Very Metal Christmas. They're
Friday,
having
isn't it? Friday.
Friday? Saturday?
It's Friday.
It's the
well,
23rd.
Friday.
Yeah, whenever
All right.
the 23rd is
Yeah.
perfect.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're having the Cowboys from Hell,
23rd,
right?
I'm
Which
looking
is
at the
which is
calendar right
a Pantera tribute.
Yes, it's Friday.
And Desolate Rage, Jin Arcana. What's it? Bubble?
Gubble?
Gobble? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got a 50-50 draw, clothing drive. They're giving away Leaf tickets. It's going to be an amazing time. So please, people, if you're out there, if you want to have a great time, December 23rd, go to the Rock Pile. They're
Yeah.
going to rock your ass off. And maybe some of the people from the Heikadelic show might be there. Who knows? Anyways, to all you out there, all you fans, have a very Merry Christmas. We'll see you before New Year's, so we'll talk about that then. Thank you, Junior, for being on the show. You're awesome, buddy. And thanks, the rest of you guys, for being here. We make the show rock. We'll see you all
Merry Christmas.
next Monday night at 9:30, right here on the Heikadelic Show. Cheers, everybody. Woohoo! Hello.
Later.
Press the button.
Well, that's another wrap for the Heikadelic Show, folks, so time to get dirty. And don't forget, listen in next week on Monday night and every Monday after that for the Heikadelic Show at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like more information on the Heikadelic Show, please find us at www.theheikedelicshow.com or .ca. We'll see you all next week on the Heikadelic Show. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor for the Heikadelic Show, it's easy. Just send us an email at info@theheikedelicshow.com. Meanwhile, you can browse our website at www.theheikedelicshow.com or .ca. Click on our sponsor tab and find out more information on sponsorships. Thanks for joining the Heikadelic Show, fans.
Hi there, my name's Mr. Wiggleton, and I'm actually the producer and janitor here at the Heikadelic Show. But anyhow, I think it's good, but it really it's pretty late show, so I don't even watch it myself, so I have no idea what it's about. But that Heiko guy, he's pretty smart. He is pretty smart. He doesn't pay me well, but he's pretty smart.